After years of different therapists and modalities, I finally have a diagnosis that connects a lot of the dots for me. What's up guys, Matty B here and welcome to No Going Back. Long before the trauma of being on reality TV, I was already seeing therapists and trying different therapy modalities to try and work out why I am the way I am. My social anxiety, aversion to crowds and crowded places, difficulty connecting and opening up to people. And whilst lots of therapists tried, none of the diagnoses I ever got seemed to make sense for me. Depression, anxiety, high-functioning autism, none of them fit the bill. I'd go through weeks of talk therapy and make seemingly great progress. My therapists were always really impressed with my emotional intelligence and ability to articulate clearly how I was feeling and why, and furthermore, speculate what I think may be the underlying trigger or past trauma that caused it. Despite their happiness with my progress, I'd not get any benefit from the sessions. I'd essentially feel as though I was just constantly repeating the same things therapist after therapist. Despite what seemed like a constant stream of disappointing or unsatisfactory therapy sessions, I kept looking for the right therapist, the person with whom I'd gel with and progress would start to happen. So I tried another psychologist. She was lovely and supportive and gentle, and I felt like I was going nowhere. Again. I started to think maybe a psychologist can't help me. Maybe I'm just stuck this way. But then I also thought maybe I'm not seeing the right kind of psychologist. And it occurred to me that all the therapists I had seen up until this point in my life had been supportive, gentle, mother-type figures. Maybe someone more of a father figure or masculine energy, as growing up the relationship I found the most difficult was the one with my dad. So maybe the kind of psychologist I needed was someone who took the form of a relationship that was challenging for me growing up, so that I could explore the issues in that dynamic in a safe and judgment-free environment. So that's what I did. I found a male psychologist older than myself and one from a culture where they're more upfront in their communication styles. Someone whom I hoped would tell it like it is and not try to coddle me, and who would ultimately push me to explore my issues deeper. After meeting for the first session and discovering that he would indeed be that kind of therapist, I began to open up about things. Some things even more so than I had with other psychologists in the past. I just felt as though this was someone I could trust and be open with. We spoke about the passing of people close to me, changing schools, losing pets, and other events that compounded together around the age of 16 that ultimately left me feeling scared, alone, and abandoned. Then I got the diagnosis that I hadn't expected to get: avoidant personality disorder. I had never even heard of this before he told me about it, but it's essentially characterized by feelings of extreme social inhibition, inadequacy, and sensitivity to negative criticism and rejection. People with avoidant personality disorder tend to have low self-esteem and poor self-image, and tend to be shy, awkward, and self-conscious in social situations for fear of doing something wrong or being embarrassed. The more he spoke of it, the more it made sense. My fear and anxiety of social situations, the constant feeling of having to put on a facade for fear of people not liking me, my unwillingness to be open and vulnerable with people, and my ability to shut down my emotions when stressed so that I can't feel anything, thereby protecting myself from getting hurt. All of these things finally clicked for me. I felt a sudden sense of relief. Now I finally knew what it was. I could treat it. Up until this point, it felt like I was fighting an invisible enemy, and now it had a name: avoidant personality disorder. We spoke further about how he believed that given the events we had discussed, the APD was a coping mechanism that was created as a way to protect my younger self from getting hurt, and how he believed the APD was layer 1 of a possible 3-layer diagnosis. Lucky me, right? He informed me how treatment wouldn't be a quick fix and this would take time, but it didn't matter to me. I finally had some semblance of an answer as to why I am the way I am, and now I have a direction to head in. And that's the thing. This diagnosis is not something that came by easily. It took many, many years and many different therapists to get here and to find a psychologist with whom I work well with. So if you're brave enough to seek therapy for yourself and haven't yet found the right therapist, I urge you to keep trying. The pain you're experiencing now might be bad, but the worst pain will be to do nothing and not seek help. For me, I have found that even being able to talk about my issues has the benefit of lightening the load. And remember that whatever you're feeling, there is a reason for it. and the things you may not like about yourself and wish you could change, there is hope. But I would love to hear from you guys. What kinds of therapies have you tried, and what have you found to be helpful? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching and sharing this journey with me. Until next time, I'm Matty B, and be kind to one another.